Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our lecturer Madam Nur Shahada binti Jasni and our fellow friends. In this video, we will be presenting on value and functional analysis. My name is Nur Atira Izzati binti Muhammad and I will present about the introduction and background of value and functional analysis. According to CIMA official terminology, value analysis is an organized interdisciplinary examination of factors that affect the cost of product or service to achieve the most economic purpose at a required quality and reliability of a product or service. Value analysis is introduced by Lawrence Marks in 1945, and this analysis will remove the unnecessary cost with no reduction in the quality, features, safety, and attractiveness of the product. Also based on CIMA, functional analysis analyzes the relationship between the function of a product, the value that customer perceive, and the cost provision. Functional analysis focuses on reducing the cost of a product by removing the non-required function or adding new features in a cost-effective way. Function Analysis System Technique, or FAST, was introduced by Charles Babbage in 1964 and could resolve issues by effective communication of various technical teams. Now we move on to the advantages and disadvantages of both analyses. The first advantage of value analysis is cost saving and remain the quality of a product or service. The management will eliminate the unnecessary value and features that users don't appreciate and not in their requirement. The next one is the business could gain a large target market. When the quality of a product improves and the cost reduced, the business will gain customers' loyalty and will attract more potential customers. This will increase their sales and profit. Then, value analysis can encourage morale of the team. As this approach is handled by teams, this will increase the efficiency to manage tasks, resolve problems, and improve the communication of the whole business. The first disadvantage of value analysis is it is time-consuming. The more complex a product or service is, the more time needed to apply the process. And to study on what values the customers appreciate is also time-consuming. The next one is the business has over-optimistic assessment. The business may increase the value that customers don't appreciate and just hope that customers will buy their products. Besides, it has no refined theoretical analysis. There is no adequate knowledge on the business policy to choose the lowest cost solution and just based on customers' preference. The first advantage of functional analysis is it can provide accurate information on the function of a product. The information covers both cause and effects of the findings. It is reliable and gives a huge overview to the management. Moreover, the business can give high satisfaction to the customers and fulfill their desire on the function at effective cost. This will gain customers' loyalty and can attract new customers to buy the product. Then, functional analysis is a flexible application approach. It gives the highest freedom to the management to develop the alternatives innovatively, identify the function of a product on its own term, and accomplish the solution. The first disadvantage of functional analysis is not all functions are possible to be identified because the lack of knowledge and patience. Next, the team will have lack of motivation to improve the function and reduce the cost at the same time is not an easy task, and only a few people will purchase the product that has low cost but only has basic function. The last drawback is resistance to change. Functional analysis utilizes a lot of time, effort, and skills to come out with a solution. Thus, once the team has made the decision, they will be reluctant to make changes.
Now, I will explain about the characteristic of value analysis. The first characteristic of value analysis is cost value. Cost value is the cost incurred by the company to produce or outsource products or services. The second characteristic is exchange value. Exchange value is the amount of money to exchange with the products or services and obtain the ownership. The next characteristic is use value. Use value usually related to the function of products and the question whether the product can fulfill the specific purposes. And the last characteristic of value analysis is esteem value. Esteem value is the additional features that can increase the value of the products or services. Now, I will talk about the process of value analysis. The first step is to select product as an object to be studied. The product selected must be the one that incurred the highest cost among the other products. The second step is to find some information regarding the selected product, such as the material used. The third step is to analyze and evaluate the information collected. Every aspect and side of the product need to be analyzed, such as whether all parts used in the production of the product are necessary, and whether the part used can be obtained at lower price than usual. The fourth step is to find some alternatives. The alternatives or ideas provided must include the elements of eliminating any unnecessary parts or features which incur higher costs. The fifth step is to choose alternatives that provide the lowest cost. The organization can choose the alternatives that provide lower cost with high value offers to the customer. The sixth step is to give recommendations. The analyzing team should give their opinions and recommendations to the decision makers so they can get approval to choose that selected alternative. And the last step is to implement and follow up. The proposal that has been approved by the decision makers will be planned and coordinated. After that, the analyzing team then will review the implementation and make any follow-up regarding the products to be improved. Next is process of functional analysis. Step 1. Select product as an object to be studied. Step 2. Select team members for functional analysis. Usually it requires 6 to 8 members from various departments. Step 3. Find some information regarding the selected product. Step 4. Describe the function of the product. Function should be classified as basic or secondary in terms of the importance of that particular function for the product. Step 5. Draw a functional family tree. Functions identified should be arranged in a logical order in a family tree diagram. Step 6. Evaluate the function of the products. The team should estimate the total amount of targeted cost with the value of each function of the products. Step 7. Suggest alternatives and compare with the target cost. Alternatives should include new features in the product. Step 8. Choose the best alternatives. And the last step is review the actual result after implementing the alternatives.
Assalamualaikum and hello guys, my name is Ain. I will proceed on the real case study where we are choosing Toyota Motor Corporation. Firstly, I will touch on the content of our case study, which is Lexus LS400. When Toyota intend to develop the Lexus model to compete with other car producers such as Mercedes-Benz and BMW, it applies two basic concepts which are target costing and reverse engineering. As a result, Toyota is able to produce a car with BMW 7 Series attributes but at a BMW 5 Series price. The reduction in cost is the bigger aspect in shaping the development of Toyota Lexus. And this is not the first time Toyota using reverse engineering concept in producing its car. But in 1933, they applied the same concept in producing its first car, which involved reverse engineering the GM Chevrolet and Chrysler DeSoto model. Now, what is reverse engineering? Reverse engineering is the process that involves working backward to determine how a part was actually designed for the purpose of recreating that part to replace the original one. In application to the Toyota Motor first car model, Kichiro took a 1933 model Chevrolet passenger car and sketched the part for his reference. He studied all components attached to the vehicle and later created a blueprint for a prototype engine. In the following year, he purchased Chrysler DeSoto and Chevrolet, then disassembled the parts to find out the material used, its strength, and its rigidity. Now, let's find out what Mercedes-Benz comment about this. As one of the competitors will lose the market share, Mercedes respond that they are now acknowledging the reason why they are losing the battle through this strategy. It is because their cars were too expensive and over-engineered. They decided to change their product development process and identify the target product cost from the competitive market price. Now, let's see how the value analysis done in the development of Lexus LS400. Step 1. The analysis team will select the car that will be used for the study, in which their current focus is on high-end performance car. This is because when their customers switching their interest toward the higher-end product, Toyota cars still aren't available at that moment. They end up in choosing BMW and Mercedes as a replacement. Step 2. The team will do some investigation to obtain and record the information regarding customer expectation on the criteria of luxury car. It results in few findings, which luxury vehicle must be of high quality, possess a prestige and status feel, must offer advanced performance compared to other cars, and the safety level also must be prioritized. Step 3. The information obtained will be analysed by the team, and during the development process, the fixing problem at the source were thoroughly enforced, which means that any problem that arose during the process must be corrected at very source or core. Step 4. This is the step where the team will consider any alternatives to contribute to the reduction of cost without compromising the quality. In May 1987, after 8 proposals were proposed, the final design of the Lexus LS400 was finally approved, and the prototype test commenced. A vibration damping steel sheet that is previously used in the other model was retained to reduce the noise and vibration. They also have considered developing a high precision magnetic featuring method during that process. Step 5. Recommendation on the design were communicated to the maker. The recommendation includes ways to increase the charging efficiency of aluminum even at the lower temperature, which is by strengthen and shorten the cylinder block casting to lower the pressure inside the mold. Step 6. For the implementation and follow-up, it will be done by TMC itself, as they were the one who were responsible for producing the new model and introduce an assembly line control system. Any problem that arises in the individual and separate line will be addressed immediately, since the new system allows the detailed production instruction to be sent on a timely basis. Since Toyota target customer is a group of people who is so realistic and sensitive about the value of their things, Toyota decide to lower the Lexus price by setting it $10,000 lower than Mercedes-Benz model, which have the same performance class. This is the reason why their cars are well received by the customer and can beat their competitors. That's all for the case study. Thank you.
Now we move to discussion of the studies. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Nur Syafiqah binti Abdul Aziz, and I will be presenting the article review 1. This article is based on a case study of the application of value analysis methodology on Divenbed, where they want to modify the product of Divenbed through its function, which is the assembly of the parts to increase the return on investment and to be used to enhance the value of Divenbed with the lowest cost as possible. They use the 8-step procedure, which are the information phase, functional, creative, evaluation, development recommendation, presentation, and implementation phase. Based on the case study, I will highlight 2 phases, which are the evaluation phase and the presentation phase. In the evaluation phase, they will evaluate the alternatives from the creative phase, which are designing the Divenbed using particle board, foldable bag, molded plastic bag, and multi-purpose polypropylene frame to be bed, chair, and table. And in this phase also, they will come out with the advantages and disadvantages of each alternative and rank each of it to be chosen in the development phase. And the alternative chosen in the development phase are folded bed and multi-purpose polypropylene frame. Then in the recommendation phase, the preferred alternative chosen is the multi-purpose polypropylene frame, and they will compare the situation before and after the implementation of the multi-purpose polypropylene. There it comes the presentation phase. This phase presents the function-based creativity in the chosen product along with the monetary aspects. The calculation for the function and new alternative is done in this phase. It shows the cost saving of 64%. And the result of this case study is that the cost will be minimized and enhanced even by being comfortable to a table and chair. In conclusion, by applying the value analysis in the study, it shows that the traditional wooden Divenbed serving the purpose of sitting and relaxing is evidently improved by adding functions of chair and table. The initial cost of the Divenbed is being reduced by 64%. The introduction of polypropylene material has also eased the production process, which leads to reduction in labor costs. With the proposed modifications in the design stages, the value of the product is thus enhanced, leading to greater benefit. That's all from me. Thank you.
Next, we move to functional analysis. This study was being done on proton cars, where the purpose for the study is to improve the functions for car outer door handle and improvise its function and make it distinct from common functions being offered in the market. This analysis was conducted at product development phase. To assist in constructing functional analysis, fast diagram, which is functional analysis system diagram, will be constructed to draw the new target cost. Fast diagram offer researcher numbers of unlimited ideas, and it helps them to focus more on what function they want to try, edit, maintain, or eliminate in the product development process. Those bunch of ideas will be then ranked according to its particular function and will be developed and tested through several modeling and prototyping. Those alternatives will be then reviewed based on cost, and they will choose the best model among all available alternatives by comparing the current alternative with its targeted cost. In order to meet customer requirement and produce better function for the product, sometimes they have to sacrifice one function to develop more new different functions, or retain the function as long as it will not sacrificing the product quality and provide better value to the customer. By implementing this strategy, it able to increase product's performance while maintain or reduce the product's cost. Only then, the value for the said product can be enhanced. The main purpose for this analysis is to ensure that all necessary functions are being highlighted and no unnecessary function being included in the product. This figure shows fast diagram for proposed outer door handle. At this study, we can see there are 17 functions being maintained, and those functions are similar functions that are commonly offered in the market. One function being eliminated, and those eliminated functions were being replaced with 5 more different new functions. All of these functions will be then implemented in proton outer door handle.
Hello everyone, I am Yonas Misha bin Jamuddin. So we have come to the conclusion of our presentation. By referring back to the root word for each analysis, we will be able to have a better understanding on both analyses. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, value is to consider or to state the worth and importance of something, while function gives a meaning about the way in which something works or operates. As for our case study on Toyota Motor Corporation, they were planning to develop a luxury and high-end performance car and to reduce their production costs. By using both value analysis and functional analysis, Toyota Motor Corporation able to achieve their target, and even they are able to sell their products at the lower price as well. Therefore, this gives a better reputation to the organization, and they are able to compete with other high-class brands such as BMW. For the proton article, the objectives are to improve the function of outer door handle without sacrificing the quality of the product, and it must within the budget. And functional analysis system technique diagram or fast diagram enable them to achieve the objective. The outcome from using this particular analysis, proton is able to enhance the function of the product and also eliminating the unnecessary features that only incur more cost to them. Hence, it helps repair and create better image to Proton after being criticized by public due to the lack of the function of their products. Next, Divenback's article. In this organization article, they were planning to minimize the cost and increase the value of the products. So, they decided to use the value analysis as their strategy to achieve their objectives. The company not able to produce good quality of product with a very low cost. Therefore, the value of the product is thus enhanced, leading the company to a greater benefits in the future. All in all, any organization that wanted to use this value analysis and function analysis must understand their objective deeply and must follow and apply the steps and phases that has been guided or aligned by the founders, other scholars, and regulatory bodies. That's all from us. Thank you for listening.